What's going on, people? Hello, Miss Sabina. Hello, Mr. Ernest. How are you? How are you? That's one of my favorite people ever. Hi, everybody. Hello, Eleanor's Sanctuary and Miss Sabina are on at the same time. Good luck, everybody. Hi, everyone. We're back. Yeah, it's not a Tuesday. It's a Wednesday. I know. But Shanatikwe, yesterday was Independence Day. Hi, everyone. Hello, Boogie's Beauty. Hi, everybody. Come on in. Say hello. I'm still trying. Lord knows, y'all, today was crazy. If I tell you guys that the first time I had anything to eat today was when I got back home, which was like about an hour ago. Yeah. Thank you, Miss Illinois Sanctuary. About an hour goes when I finally I had to drink because I mean a few months to pass out. How to drink I don't drink coffee, but I needed it today, and so whenever I drink coffee, you know there's 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Well, hi everyone. Hello TikTok family. It's been a while. Hi YouTube. Hi Facebook. Hello Instagram. You're welcome. I mean, that's really what it is. All the posting. But anyway, this is Attorney 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕, immigration attorney based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. Last week I was out, so we didn't have any live. So I am excited to be back. Missed y'all really for me because I, just like you guys, hello Tutuola. I look forward to the live we do Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you just join us for the first time, I usually come live Tuesdays and Thursdays on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube simultaneously. We talk about different topics, immigration topics. Sometimes we have just questions for that particular show. So, and every single time I would have questions with as much time as we can to take on some questions if we're discussing any topic. So if you need to contact us, Miss Illinois Sanctuary, Miss 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕 got you guys on Instagram. Hi, Miss Giwa. I'm still waiting on you. 334-341-4475. If you need to set up a consultation, text, email us at @olalayalawfirm.com, info@olalayalawfirm.com, or go to olalayalawfirm.com and you can contact us through the firm. Now, let me just say this before I forget. We have a lot of people, and that's one of the reasons I got someone to specifically take care of social media messages or text messages to the firm so that I can, that's the whole point of running a business, you delegate. Apart from that, if I don't offer free consultation. So the fact that you have referred somebody to me doesn't mean you're going to get free consultation. It's just like saying, I go to a gas station. So because I went to, Texaco today and they bought a full tank of gas, then when I go there tomorrow, they have to give me a free tank of gas. It doesn't work that way. If anything, that's just me. If I have a friend or people that I know that actually have businesses, I don't ever ask for discount. People who are my friends who actually have businesses will tell you and vouch for that. I never ask a friend for discount. If you tell me this is your price, I'm going to pay that price you tell me because that's how I support you. And other people can discount and ask for discount. I just don't. So because we had someone today who cussed out one of my employees saying, well, I refer someone to her, she should give me free consultation. It doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, it doesn't. This is the free consultation. It's more about respecting people's businesses and respecting people's policies. But the word is you can't always please everybody. And that's just the name of the game. That's what it is. You can't please everybody. Thank you, Isabel. And I know, listen, majority of people are kind-hearted. Majority of people have a good heart. Yeah. But there will always be those people who feel entitled. And that's just the world we live in. But the one thing I don't ever stand for is anyone who calls my office. Every single person that works for me and people that we represent are treated with utmost respect. Once you become disrespectful, I fire people because that's just what it's the people who work for me are like family. Everyone who we represent must represent them, must respect them. If you will not, I will terminate services, because those people have families. They're humans. Isaiah, Carla, Lydia, Karen, Iris. I mean, they're that's family, you know. But I just wanted to say that it doesn't mean, you know, we won't have that again, but that's just the name of the game. But that's okay. Once again, you already know me. I have boundaries. My boundaries will not be crossed. That's just what it is. Because the way I want people to treat me is the way I treat people. Anyway, that's that. This is our free consultation moment. If you're just joining for this person, like I said, Tuesdays, Thursdays, 9 o'clock. Now, Mr. Bennett, Mr. Elena Sanctuary, just leave it alone. 9 o'clock is the time. But we may be like, I'll be 12, 15 minutes. And God's work in progress. I'm still under construction. So that timing, we're working on it. We'll get there. Just bear with me. But anyway, once again, 334-341-4475 is the, yeah, don't start. So two of you leave it alone. Yeah. Leave it alone. But 334-341-4475. Please share this video, like, follow us at 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕 Immigration on all social media platforms. We will be glad to represent you. We are honored when you choose us to represent you in your cases. And we're believing, and happy new month. We're believing that this morning, you know, one of the things that we posted up today was, and that's what I truly believe. I truly believe that, you know, this second half of the year, whatever cases may have been difficult or what seemed impossible, we're just going to agree in faith that as we partner together, God is going to give us favor. You know, that is just the way my brain works. It's just not, you know, God gives us the wisdom and the knowledge that we have as humans. But at the end of the day, it's still left to him to put that favor and to sanction it and to give us approvals and favor, basically, when his favor speaks for you. And that's what I believe, that this second part of this year, it will get better. It can only get better. It would not become worse for any of us. And we'll all come together at the end of this year to have many, many more testimonies testifying to the glory of, and the goodness of God. All right, let's talk immigration, people. So what do we have tonight? I'm just going to try to make this really short so we can get as many questions as possible. But unless you've been living under a rock, as y'all know, there is the new Florida immigration law. Florida immigration law that went into effect July 1st. Like, what did we go? Like 4 days ago. Today's the 5th, right? So this Wednesday thing is throwing me off. So bear with me, and you're probably going to see me tomorrow. So, but I just didn't want to miss because yesterday was holiday. I wanted to make that up for today. So. Me on, I think I'm back. That really pisses me off. Excuse my French. All right, what should you know about this new Florida law? Let me just tell you something. Many immigrants are, and I have many clients who live in Florida. Florida is one of my top 5 states where I have majority of my clients residing. So this really affects my clients and potential clients, because I have people. I don't think there's a week that passes by that we don't have at least 5 consults from people who live in the state of Florida, at least. So this is something that affects current clients, and this is something that affects potential clients. The first things first, immigration law, and that's why I said quote unquote Florida immigration law. Immigration law is federal law. No state can pass its own immigration law. However, each state can base policies and state laws on immigration practice, and law, federal immigration law, as long as there is nothing in that state law that contradicts or conflicts with federal law. So it's constitutional. If there is a conflict with state and federal law will proceed, because that is a superior law. So it's not like the state of Florida is able to enact their own separate immigration law. That's not what it is. They just are based on federal immigration law. They're able to carve out their own policies, their own state laws, as long as it does not violate anyone's constitutional right or violate any immigration law federally. So that's that. It's only applicable in the state of Florida. Whatever is going on in Florida cannot be projected on another state unless that state itself now decides to have their own immigration law. So that's that. But things that are happening, the requirement of, if you have at least 25 employees and above, you have to do the e-verification and all that. That's not something that is new with Florida. That's something that even the federal government, USCIS, requires employers to do. It's just that a lot of states don't do that because there are a lot of states that are safe harbor states, safe haven states for undocumented immigrants. So they don't bother their employees, who do, especially if it's state employees, working for the federal government. But now what Florida is doing is implementing what has always been in the state of Florida. And if someone does not comply with that, they're going to impose penalties on those employers. When you have, so before, where you have a state ID from another state where you could use in the state of Florida, Florida is now limiting things to, if your state ID is, there's some IDs that will say not for federal identification purposes or not real ID. If it has that on it, it will not be recognized in the state of Florida, and other additional requirements for it. So basically, they're just saying that if the federal government is not going to recognize your ID, then we're not going to do it. So it's not really like they're implementing or creating a new set of laws. They're just deciding that we're going to actually implement what the federal government should do generally in our state. What is that doing? It's making people leave the state of Florida. That's just, I have a client who has relocated over the weekend. Well, before July 1st, he had started with his family because he's got 4 kids who are citizens. Unfortunately, none of them are 21 years old yet. So we've got something in the works. He just doesn't feel comfortable working, living in the state of Florida with his family. Doesn't want to risk being deported back to Africa. And he's got 4 kids, all that good stuff. So he's left. There are a lot of people now. I have, because I do employment law too. So I have, I got friends in high places. So today, one of the high places friends, who is a Republican, by the way, I must say, is neither here nor there with what's going on. Because he's more like, well, we don't want people running into the state of Alabama. So, but then I represent, his company with immigration. Y'all, let's just leave that as that. But people are leaving the state of Florida trying to go into safe places. However, what can you do if you live in Florida, but you're not, so you don't have the flexibility or option of relocating? What do? First things first, because ICE is on the move. They're on the move. They're really like out there in Florida. That's just what's going on. There are some very specific cities and towns where immigrants, there are a lot of immigrants, and they're focusing on those cities and towns. I'm not going to mention them, but if you already know what state. Just every state has those cities where predominantly immigrants live. If ICE comes to your house, if they do not have a search warrant or an arrest warrant for you, you have every right to deny them entrance into your home. You have every right to call your attorney if you have an attorney in your case or pending case. If you don't have a pending case, as long as they have not showed up to your home, unannounced or not, without a search warrant, without an arrest warrant, you have a right to close the door on your face. There's nothing they can do. That is the law. They cannot, no state can violate your constitutional right. The fact that you're undocumented does not deprive you of constitutionally protected rights of due process. Everybody enjoys that in the United States of America. No complaints about that. No argument on that. So if in the unfortunate circumstance you are arrested by ICE, or whatever the case may be, placed in deportation proceedings, which they're able to do, the good thing is, you remember that the Biden administration, they had this guidelines that was released sometime in 2021, and then state of Texas sued the federal government, saying that, and what happened is DHS decided, you know what, if an undocumented immigrant is arrested, if they're not a suspected terrorist, they're not someone who is a violent or dangerous criminal, they have no serious criminal activity going on, they're not a threat to the national security. If you have issued a notice to appear to such a person, we do not necessarily have to keep them in deportation proceedings, exercise prosecutorial discretion to get them out of proceedings. State of Florida and another state sued United States, right? Good thing is, about 2 weeks ago, Supreme Court of United States ruled against the state of Texas, saying they lack standing to question what the Biden administration wants to do. In a nutshell, what the policy that was in place, where they said we're going to exercise prosecutorial discretion, terminate proceedings as many proceedings as you can, get people out of deportation unless they pose threat to national security, or they have serious aggravated felonies or misdemeanors, whatever the case may be, but it poses a threat, or serious criminal offenses. There is no point to have them in deportation. Let them leave the lives, let it be. I say all that to say this. Even in the event that you get arrested or picked up by ICE in the state of Florida, there is no state court, that ICE is going to take you to in the state of Florida outside of the federal laws protected. You're going to be issued a notice to European Immigration Court, which is federal court. What the policy is allowing DHS attorneys to terminate proceedings. So if you get notice to European Immigration Court, you don't have anything but the fact that you're just here on unlawful presence. They can exercise prosecutorial discretion to get you out of deportation proceedings. It's state specific. One DHS attorney's office is different from another. I love to work with a hire is one. Sometimes you just don't know. Depends on the trial attorney. New York, I love to work with New York. Love it. There's some states like Massachusetts that let's just leave that alone. I don't even know what I wanted to say, but we'll leave that alone. So that's that. Let's see. Another thing, if you have a pending case where you've already filed some with USCIS, and now you've got receipt notices to show that you have a pending immigration benefit that you've applied for, please, thank you, Mr. Venom Sanctuary, make sure, especially in that state of Florida, make sure you have copies of your receipt notices. That's going to come in very, very helpful, just in case, especially if you're traveling. Now, one thing I would recommend, please do not travel by Greyhound bus. Nothing against Greyhound. I'm just saying that's the one I know, or any interstate bus. Those, especially Greyhound buses, are notorious for being stopped by ICE very, very often. Travel by air, travel by road. Hardly will they stop private vehicles, but Greyhound buses, especially crossing the border or whatever the case may be, they have a right to pull that over, and they can ask people on the bus for proof that they have legal status. But if you have an immigration case pending, it is advisable at this point, given at least for us to see how things go in the state of Florida and see how things go, things play out. But it's very advisable for you to have your receipt notices, because that is proof that you have something pending. If you've already received your work permit, great. Have that with you. But work permit alone may not be sufficient, because some people have cases that have already been denied, but the work permit, the expiration date of the work permit is still valid. So it just depends. But my suggestion will be, have your receipt notices with you. If you get ICE knock on your door, if they cannot provide a search warrant and or arrest warrant for your arrest, there is no talking to them. If you have a lawyer, do not talk to ICE. without making sure you text, call, email, whatever the case may be, your lawyer. You have every right not to answer any question, and they can't force you. They can threaten you from now till Jesus comes back. That's what they're going to do. Doesn't matter. Doesn't mean anything. Just gonna say something else. Okay, so we're watching it just to see what's going to happen. It's new. It's just 4 days old, and I think this month really is going to be the test, or the next couple of months will be the test of how things will play out in that state. Let's see. Yeah, people are leaving. Construction companies are suffering. Federal ID purposes. Okay, I have that. Call your lawyer. Do not open the door. Only effective in the state of Florida. Already did that. Yeah. So that's all she wrote, people. How do you say that in Yoruba language? Something. If you sent me an email, I'm just literally getting back to the office today and getting a chance to respond to my email. So if you sent me an email, please give me some time on to tomorrow, because I've got, that's what happens when you leave the office for just a week in emails. Like, obviously there's some emails that if it comes in, especially someone's in jail, I have to, but for the most part, no, I don't. Once it's time to spend time with my kids, that's it. So I have over 1,000 emails. So money's through there, so we can get to those emails and get responses to them. All right. Okay. Let's see. Hello, Mr. Tola. How are you? Sissy Lewe. Sissy Lewe. Hi. Hello from Sissy Lawyer. Let's see. TJNT here and on time. Good evening, beautiful. Good evening, Miss Gibson. Are you TJ's with his dad? That's why the house is quiet. TJ's with his dad. He'll be back next week. Of course, you would have heard TJ's voice. TJ, quiet. Shh, please. When you're, okay, let me put this. Hold on 1 second. Let me put this back and then go back here. When you're I-36 is approved, what's next, please? Congratulations on the approval of your I-360. I missed you too, Miss Gibson. I'm telling y'all, like, I was looking all day, as crazy as my day was today. I was looking forward to this because I was like, I don't care how tired I get, because I knew I had 14 consultations today. Why I did that, or better say, I give my assistant my schedule, but because I knew that, I had missed, but I was like, why in God's name did I do that? But anyway, that's why I didn't eat anything until I got home, but it was worth it. But all day, in spite of that, I was looking forward to this. I was like, So represent immigration clients in all 50 states. Once again, on contact is 334-341-4475. Missed you to Ms. Gibson. So when your 360 gets approved, if you filed your 485, which is a green card application, simultaneously, then the next stage will be, and you've submitted your medicals, then the next stage should be that you would expect to get your green card approved. Most of the time, they do not schedule interviews for VAWA-related cases. If they schedule an interview, it's either based on the fact that the field officers. The way it works is this: if you simultaneously file your 485 with your VAWA case, it's sent to the Monterey Center. When they approve, thank you, God's favor. When they approve your VAWA petition, the Monterey Center transfers your file to the National Benefit Center. The National Benefit Center now makes a decision based on your case, whether or not to forward it to your field office. And if they're going to do that, then there's a reason for them to schedule an interview. If they're not going to schedule an interview, they do not forward to your field office. If you haven't submitted your medicals, you just get an hour to submit your medicals. I have 2 of those going out tomorrow, and interviews were not scheduled. So it's very case specific. And so once you get the RFP for medicals to be sent in, then you most likely the next thing to expect is for them to approve your green card. So I hope that answers your question, Bells. Hello from Maryland, TM. How long did it take to get 10 years officially in the case? I'm not sure I understand your question, Akeem. Is there a timeline for USCIs to get back after your I-751 interview? There is no set timeline, but the general rule is anywhere from 120 days to 180 days. That's what, if you call them, they'll tell you. If your case is still within that time frame, then just wait a little bit. If it's not, if it's way outside that, then you may call USCIs and get a status in your case. Snow, you want a consultation? Please call our office 334-341-4475, or you can send a text and somebody will send you the information to set up a consultation. I must have missed something. I'm going to come because this ladies, my girls are they're crazy. I'm telling you. Let me get start from, where is your office? So we are located in Alabama. That's where my physical location is. But given that U.S. Immigration law is federal practice, okay, here we go. Given that immigration practice is federal practice, that means that I can represent immigration clients in any state, as long as the lawyer practices immigration law and they're licensed in at least one state. In my case, I'm licensed in the state of Alabama. I'm also licensed in the state of New York. Actually, I just renewed my registration for the state of New York a week ago. They don't forget, they always remind you, because what agency in the United States forgets to ask you to pay something? Like, is it just me, or sometimes I just feel like I just got all the bills for this month paid. Why am I getting new set of bills less than a week into the new month? There's got to be someone else who feels that way. Because, that's all we do in the United States. You become an adult, and they say, hi, welcome to adulthood, here are your bills. Marriage interview was last June. I-130 approved in April, still waiting on 45 what to do. It's usually uncommon. I had another case like that. It's usually very uncommon for them not to approve both. Whenever they do not approve both, there is most likely an admissibility issue, because that's what the 45 is about. I-130, that you've already satisfied the good faith part of the application. If the I-45 is still pending, there is an admissibility issue with the intended immigrant. So most likely that's why. How long does it take to get a work permit from VAL? There's no certain work permit from VAL unless and until your VAL case has been approved, which is sent automatically. If you're talking about a work permit you filed simultaneously or concurrently with the VAL case, that must be a C9 work permit, and it's still the same length of time, processing time, like a regular C9 work permit that's filed in a regular marriage case. So USCIS.gov/processing time, that's where you can get how long it's taking. Can I consult with you for US EAD and green card? I'm a Canadian citizen. We don't provide sponsors. So you must have your own sponsor, in the sense of you have a relative who's going to sponsor an underlying petition for you for a family-based case, or you have an employer who's going to sponsor you for an employment-based case, or you qualify for humanitarian cases like VAL or asylum, or you qualify for a self-petition and employment-based. But as far as consult with me, if you want to ask general questions on ways you can get a green card, we can do that. But if you're looking for us to provide a sponsor for you, we don't do that. I applied for asylum 33 days ago. I haven't received the receipt notice. How long does it take? And it can take up to 3 months, depending on the service center you send it to. Now you can file a asylum application online. I don't care to file online. That's just me. I just don't care for it. I don't care to file any of my forms online. That's just me. The law attorneys do it. For me, it's just not. For now, we may change your mind a year from now, a month from now, but for right now, no. But so if you're wanting to have receipt notice faster, you can file it online. But besides being able to show that you have something that you filed, which you haven't received of you sending something that it was delivered and you have proof that it was delivered was served the same purpose. Other than that, there's really nothing you can do with that. But it's 33 days is not long, given the backlog with USCIs. Whenever I file a asylum application with the California Service Center, we usually get the receipt notices, don't jinx it now, in less than 2 weeks. Anywhere else, you can be waiting up to 60 days. So it's not unusual that you haven't received it in 33 days. Green card holder applied for my husband. I'd like to know when it can be approved. That's not a question I can answer. Is it advisable to get a lawyer while waiting on interview for U.S. citizen spouse? If you're going for an interview, I would say get yourself a lawyer to go to the interview with you. Let's see. How long does relation DNA test result take? That's the only question I can answer. How do you do your hair like that? Oh, I'm sure you guys can tell that I just rebraided my hair because it's looking neater. You can tell when it's well, I did something different this time around. So, because my hair, I don't know if you guys can see it, is natural, as you can tell. But I usually I wash my hair in this specific way so I can have this comb that I can use without having to completely undo the braids. But this last time I decided to undo the braids and see if that would help me from torturing myself when I rebraid, because it's like, ouch, my teacher is like, can you just cut the darn hair? I'll go get someone to help you out. So I actually undid them. And the funny thing is, it was really, really stretched out, and I put a lot of conditioner. So when I rebraided, I saved half the time that I normally do. I was like, I'll be damned. So go take and shit all this while here. Yeah. But I would do a video, and I should have done it because this time around I didn't shout. It was a breeze, knock on wood. But I don't have the time, but I will do a video one day and put it on my YouTube channel. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. Okay, let me go to Instagram. Hello, Instagram people. Hello, Instagram family. Ms. Vetta says, good evening. Oh, yeah, I forgot. So let's do the reintroduction. I forgot that I changed my name. I'm no longer. Actually, I changed my name last week to Stella. Someone said I didn't look like a Stella. I think I changed my name last week to Stella. So just in case you're wondering who's Stella, that's me. That's me. Because, why not? Why not? And, did I meet a Winston? As Jamaicans would say, Winston. Can I tell y'all, because I have so many Jamaican clients, so many. Actually, based on one of my Jamaican clients is the reason why that's just graduation trip was, we planned it for there. The people are very direct. They're my kind of people. I think, well, then again, most Jamaicans are either from Nigeria or Ghana, based on history, because they're so direct. It just reminded me of myself. And so they don't beat around the bush, but very, very warm. And God, they can sell me in that place with the patois. Like I will be sold because there is a lot of English language in it, but Lord knows they will sell you before you know. Because I was like, what in God's so I literally had to have Google like, okay, translate what's going on. But it is, now every country's got its own, but it was good. It just to know and to look around and everybody looks like you. Because most places with vacation, most people, it's always like, you're like, they can tell, hey, Auntie, do you? But when you go to a place like that where everybody is most people are the same color, or like shit lighter, shit darker, it was just really good. And for someone like me who doesn't like to wear clothes, I've said that several times. TJ wasn't here because TJ's my baby. We don't really like a lot of clothes. So just to, and there was one time that we were doing stuff and I heard something in the, because a lot of, not bushes, but shrubs and all that. And I heard sound. I was like, Nibble. I was ready to run and leave my kids. Like, leave my kids, like, everybody for themselves. Ain't doing. But that's why I changed my name to Stella. So thank you, Miss Tammy. 1 week was a lot not seeing you guys. I'm telling you, it was like having withdrawal symptoms. I was like, and TJ actually brought it like, okay, so what are you going to do tonight? That was Tuesday a week ago. So what are you going to like? We're going to put on a post. So we're like, so people are not going to get mad. They're like, kiddo fighting, being mad. like TJ was looking out for everyone because I think he's used to coming on to himself. So, all right, good to hear that, Mr. Ernest. Praying for good news very, very soon. Olubimi 4710. Thank you. Appreciate that. Bali Wayne Houston. Shalafia. Prince Chooks, you called my office the other day. If you called my office, I can guarantee you somebody picked up the phone and gave you a message and probably gave you the information you were looking for. But if you called my office to discuss your case, you would have to set up a proper paid consultation. There's just no way around that. We've got a lot of people doing that. You're not going to bypass that. That's what my policy is. So whether you text us, you call, that's just what the policy is. You're going to set up a paid consultation is what it is. Because I think I give enough information. But if you want to discuss something that's specific to your case, and I think a lot of people don't understand that when you discuss your case with an attorney, even in some as a limited scope of representation as a consultation, that is still liability for the lawyer because the lawyer is giving you advice that you can actually make decisions on based on that advice. So if I'm going to advise you on something, whether or not you retain my services for that, that is still something that you can make a decision on. So why would I not get paid for you being able to get that information? Right? Just like I go to a doctor's office. If before you even see the doctor, you're going to make your co-payment. Before they can tell you whether they can help you or they're still going to have to send you to another specialist. When you get to the specialist, you're going to still make a co-payment. So if you called my office, I can guarantee you that you got the information you needed. If you still need some information as far as how to set up a consultation, please call. We'll be glad to give you that information that you need. But if you need to discuss your case, you would have to set up a proper paid consultation. Okay, let's see. Happy Wednesday, Ms. Giwa. Wawa Julius. Julius was my dad's name. Julius. Y'all know that my dad wasn't really a Yoruba man. Well, he was half Yoruba. Let me just say it was really because my paternal grandmother was Yabur was an Akure woman. But my paternal grandfather was 100% Yoruba man. So technically, Tabani Karu when let's put it all on the table. Technically, my state of origin should be Delta State. And that's my Yoruba is funny. Well, that is just what it is. But Julius was my dad's name, and it's not because the only Yoruba name he had was Taiwo. My dad was a twin. His twin sister is still alive, and Tkende is still alive. But she actually, so my aunt, my dad's twin sister, and Tkende is, my dad would have been, can you get that way? My dad would have been 85. 1938. Yeah, he would have been 85 back in March. So she's 85. Till tomorrow, so my maiden name is Samuel, which was my paternal grandfather's first name. His last name was Wade Odaje. A little story about myself. But Auntie Kende uses Wade Odaje as her maiden name. My dad changed his last name to his dad's first name, which is Samuel, and that's why my maiden name is Samuel. But Taiwo was the only Yoruba name my dad had. His name was Julius Agberuase, if I'm not pronounce, I may not pronounce it properly. Samuel Owadi. It's really like until you say like Papi Yoruba, but that's on my everything I grew up. State of origin was on the state. That's what my dad told me. What else am I gonna say? That's it. My sister's AD through vow will be getting expired in 2 months. What can she do? Can she renew it? She can. If it's a C31 EAD, then she can. So she should be able to, should actually send it in now. Okay, Ms. Gira, you sent me an email earlier today. Okay. Buy one, get one free. Hey, Mama. My mom is on. I did turn 63. There's no promo going on. I may just ring in the second half of the year. My calendar's probably going to kill me. Let's just see how I feel on Monday. But we may do something for the rest of the month. Maybe a discounted consultation. I don't know. It's just something that we'll see. We'll see. So that may be something we'll do. Thank you, Ms. Sabina. That's true talk. I have many colleagues who don't do lives at all because they just don't think they should give information that didn't. I have a lot of my colleagues that are like, you know what, you give a lot of information out. So it was like, hey, if it's not every single thing you're going to need an attorney for. So for instance, if you want to, do a change of address, what form can I use? AR11. That's simple. That's no big deal. Just, but now if you want to get to, okay, where do I send it? Who should I send it to? Should I include it for the I-130 and the 485? Should I be the only one to file it? Does my petition? Then we're getting into specifics, and then that's when you need to sit down with a lawyer. So it just depends, really, and no big deal. We're getting there. We'll be on time. We'll be on time. Just don't worry. Hello, Epic Movement. I think Isaiah sent you an email. I think. Let's see. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody's. Someone was 10. Okay. Can we get up soon? I got quiet. Y'all. My mail lady, Monica. God bless. I love that lady. When you have a mail lady that runs your route, and when I tell you how much of a blessing this woman has been, if she knows I'm going to be out for a while, she would literally herself say, hey, I know how you are with your mail because I have an assistant who comes in part-time to help, but because I have serious OCD. Let's just call it spade a spade. I have serious OCD, and many clients send mail their money orders to us and all that. I don't ever want to not know. Yeah, do I have control issues? I do. Yeah, it is what it is. I don't, because I'm responsible for whatever a client sends to my office. It's nobody's going to say, hey, your system took it up. I'm the one responsible. So if someone says, and I always encourage you, please send me something. If you're making something to you, especially when it has money order, please make sure it's sent through trackable mail. If I'm going to be gone for an extended time, I'm going to, so sometimes you're like, okay, I'm going to hold your mail because I know how you are. And yeah, she already knows all those. And so when she came into the day with the big one, like, kilo day, I was just away for a week. She goes, there you go. So I'm like, you should see our conference room. It's receipt notices everywhere, approval notices, receipt notices, transfer notices. It's, but we thank God that it's cases of, we're moving cases. So you got that and changing people's lives, really. What's up with Massachusetts? I mean, Massachusetts is going to, if July 1st, I believe, going to issue standard IDs to everybody, regardless of immigration status. So there's nothing wrong with Massachusetts. Yeah, ICE notorious for stopping gray on buses. No, that is, so please, that's something you should not try to travel with in the state of Florida, especially. My prima facie expires this July. Do I need to apply again, or is it automatically renewed and sent? It is automatically sent. But what I do is if I have a client where we have less than 30 days, we haven't received it, I email Vermont Service Center letting them know, hey, we haven't received this. Can you please email me a copy of it, or let us know if one has been sent. And if it's something that has not been sent, they will send me a courtesy email copy, or if it's been sent, they will say, yes, we mailed one to you already. And let me tell you, if you are filing your first asylum-based work permit, that is crazily fast. We filed about 7 of those last week, literally on Saturday 25th, June 24th, if I'm not mistaken, and then on Monday, June 26th is when we sent them out. All 7 of them, I have the approval notices in my mail today. One was received on the 26th and the approved date on the same day. USCIS has no rhyme or reason, because then I have asylum renewals pending a year. But anyway, my point is, if you are one of those lucky people who gets the opportunity to file your first asylum-based work permit, there's also the law that they have to adjudicate it within. You can file after 150 days after it's been pending. Your asylum application has been pending. They cannot approve it less than 180 days from when your asylum application has been pending. So if you time it where it's just about that 180 days, most likely it will be approved within the first week of the USCIS recipient. Just a tip, yeah. You are enjoying the vacation content, so made up. Listen, y'all, I'm telling you, I love to be by the pool or the beach because you don't have to wear so many clothes. I'm one of those who can survive, or who would have survived if Adam did not shoju kokoro and ate that apple. Because see, Otipeti women think cobalt okoni. Like if he had just been strong enough to say, woman, no, I'm not eating, then we would all have been naked, wouldn't have known anything different, right? But he just had to listen to the woman and then blame the woman when God says, hey, did I not make you mad? Like, only biryani. So, but thank you, God's favorite. So yeah, so you should expect that. What if it's less than 30 days that you still have not received it? If you have an attorney, have them contact USCIS on your behalf. So then next, I'm guessing why the under 40s. So listen, you get to a stage in life where, and I have a couple of girlfriends, like if you hear our conversation, I'm like, I think Miss Abena, Miss in the sanctuary will not be surprised because they know me. They know she watch crazy, especially Miss in the sanctuary. They know. But when someone, I was like, when you hit a certain age in life, I'm going to be 45 next month. For me, at this stage of my life, as long as guy is healthy, you take care of yourself, because I take good care of myself. That's the one. Listen, you've got to take care of yourself. If you're going to be in my life, you cannot let yourself go, because you can't. But I don't care if you have 6-pack. 6-packs don't pay bills, because you can have 6 or 260 packs or 200 billion packs on your stomach. If you ain't got nothing to show for it, you ain't got a job under your name, and you don't have a bank account, and you don't rent, have your own place, you still live with your mama, you can take your 6-packs and sit down at your mama's house. so sometimes, like, get some DMs like, what in God's name am I going to really do with this person? Like, what can you possibly offer me based on the information I have? Now, I'm not saying that everybody under 40 hasn't made. A lot of people in their 30s who have made, who are millionaires. That's. So, but for me, at this stage, I don't need anybody to take care of me. I've never needed anybody to take care of me. Everyone else is stay-at-home mother. And this is something that I can say anywhere. When I filed for divorce from my ex-husband, I did not ask for a dime. Didn't have much in my name, but I did not ask for alimony, even though I had every right to, especially in the state we live in. I know I wasn't going to ask. I just wanted the divorce. Even my lawyer was like, even his lawyer was like, okay, I've been representing physicians, because they call his lawyer physician, the physician attorney. Like, and the main thing we fight about is money that They want to, the wife wants to pay or vice versa, but my clients don't want to pay. This is the first time I've ever had somebody who's not asking for alimony. So the lawyer was like, she's just done. Just let it go. Because I can work. I mean, that's just it. But just saying, can you file I-130 and adjustment of status, I guess you mean separately? Yes, you can. You don't. There's nothing that says you have to file concurrently. Some people would rather file an I-130, be done with that, and get that approved, and then file the 485. I don't see why you shouldn't file both concurrently, but it just depends. Now, you may not be able to file both concurrently if you are a preference category, like spouse of a green card holder, where your priority date is not current, as long as you're in a valid non-immigrant status. So it just depends. We'll leave to people. I'm telling you, that's the story of America. Can you marry someone with 10 years age difference? There's nothing that says you cannot. Because I think someone made a comment, and I'm not really sure what her point was. But we just had a K1 visa where my clients, I think either on Thursday or Friday, where he picked up his visa in Ghana. And there is a 27-year age difference between him and his soon-to-be wife. Because immigration cannot deny your case solely based on a huge age gap. 10 years is not huge. So I've seen way more than that. So I'm telling you, and they keep, it's amazing how bills, they never seem to forget to send you bills. If they have to refund you for anything, somehow it takes 120 business days. But if you miss your bill deadline date by 1 day, which thank God I don't, because listen, that's another thing. If you're going to come into my life, you must have a good credit. You must have good credit. Because see, my credit is 100. I think I checked yesterday, I have 825. That's my credit score. You've got to be at least 700. We can't go lower than that. We can't go lower than that. One of my girlfriends said, well, Oma was very single for a long time. Like, I know. I know. I did my biometrics in May 2023, and it's not updated on case until now. Is this a normal process for VAR? USCIS is nothing abnormal or normal with USCIS. That's the truth. Okay. Miss Bennett, I feel you. It's like, mortgage company. It's not even, it's like you get to 1201 of the first of the next month. The first email I get is your mortgage is due. I already know. Shipping money is up, me picking my draft automatically. Kilo for reminder. Like, okay. And then I held my bills when we left, and then I just picked everything up today. And it's like everything in my mail today was bill, electric bill, water bill, Xfinity, car note. Like America, go. Uncle Sam know how to send. Okay, you haven't paid enough tax. Kilo little. In short, I'm telling you. My Comcast billing is 23 years. A reminder on the 5th. My Comcast excellent. Well, they changed the names in some places. Actually, my bill is not due until 20th. Yeah. It's so it was in my mail today. That means that they must have sent it because I held my mail. It's not due to the 20th. Like, I just literally paid the other one, 15 days ago. I think I'm chill now. And then you interrupt the internet and yourself. Please. Utility companies, you even say, all right, because you've been paying your bill diligently, we're going to give you 1 month free. Nibble. Never. Do you work with clients for marriage, green card with wife? Yes, we handle marriage-based cases. My brother's change of status biometrics appointment came in. It's in Oklahoma. I'm very surprised. They can ask you to go out of your state for biometrics, and this was only 8 days. Just sharing. Okay. Well, Miss Tammy, I think we talked about. Now, it depends on. So you may be out of state if the application support center that is over your place of residence, your town or city of residence, is that place. So you can be, 2 hours away, whatever the case may be. Because, for instance, I have clients in Jackson, Meridian, Mississippi, where they ask them to either go to Jackson or to go to New Orleans, which is in Louisiana. So, okay. Can talk to you right during your constitution section. You can. Now, Emma Fioremi, that's the one thing. But I met a sweet woman today. Can't say her name, but obviously she's old enough to be a mother. Just to know, and that woman prayed for me. There's nothing like when an elderly person, especially prayer of a mother, and mommy of millennia, I felt it. It was like it was like praying for her own child. And that's all I always ask, just pray for me. Because this work that I do, it is very, very high. It's high powered in the sense of it drains you. If you don't take care of yourself, 2 months ago, I had a colleague kill himself. It is very high pressured. And you're trying to please people in the sense of make sure everybody's taken care of. But understanding also that somebody's going to be mad about something that doesn't make sense, and that's okay. As long as God gives me strength to keep doing what I'm doing, all I ask is just a prayer, So yes, we can talk in your red language, English, whichever is fine. Good evening from Dallas. Hello, Mama. Yeah, my mama can tell you, yeah, she's technically I'm the Delta girl. She can vouch for that. So, so she would have been what you saw like why or daddy. But it's not funny, but that's not again this maiden name. I mean, she didn't. Yeah, Mangidi, she did not even add. So she's Mrs. Falashe. Or is she a doctor? I think she's Dr. Falashe. But I think she added why or daddy Falashe. It's just a long name. If an employer decides to sponsor an employee for a green card, how long will it take for the employee to get a green card? We can sit down and talk about that for a consultation. Fabulous, Jamaica. I'm telling you, I enjoyed you already know when I talk about something that I love that much, especially when I talk about Lick Finger's food. Lick Finger haven't come close because we're out for a while. So TJ hasn't finished my last order. And then when we came back, he went to his next place. So it's lasted much longer. But when he's back, I know it's going to be gone. So we'll be back. So if I talk about something that I love, you already know I'm going back. Now, the plan is Miss Abena and Miss Eleanor Sanctuary. Let's do a girls' trip to Jamaica without the kids. Miss Abena doesn't have kids in this, so she's good. Eleanor Sanctuary without the kids, they'll take care of the babies. Because next time I'm going, it ain't doing no. I'm really gonna be in my true stellar form. Ain't doing kids, because kids can, yeah. How can I run and leave my kids? Watch me, because the kids that I have are both bigger than I am, right? You saw the photos. They're bigger than me. So what am I going to do to protect them? And why would I not run and leave that? Listen. We don't we don't have the same name. So everybody for themselves. No. We ain't doing it. No, teacher laughed so hard. It was like, so where are you running to? You're going to leave your kids? I'm going to leave my kids. I'm gone. I'm gone. Kidney, please. TJ for president. I'm gone. TJ got your backs. I don't know if it's more about your backs or the fact that he can come and flex for everybody because he likes to be the center of attention. So, but he laughed his butt off. So, Mom, you're going to read because he takes his time to talk, so you will hear everything, and he will repeat if you don't. I'm running. Y'all don't understand. You can take the girl out of Nigeria. You can't take Nigeria. I'm gone. The skinny grandmother on there. You gonna get them. What? She was good. Hey, Miss Julian. Did I live in Nigeria before moving to the United States? Yes, I was born in Nigeria. I lived in Nigeria until banking Bala moved 21 years ago. It's actually going to be 21 years. July 31st. It will be 21 years since I've been living in the United States. Yeah. So yeah, my early adult life was in Nigeria. Yeah, my dad was a twin. Taiwo, yeah. Okay. It's going to be months of approval, like bar alone. We've already started. So, you should see my conference. I'm telling you. Yet to receive your email, Sister Lawyer. Finance Shandy, I did send you an email. I sent you an email. Check your email. I responded to your email. Vacation was good. Stella, Lisa, Mona. I wonder what it should be. Listen. Now, there are some things that a guy under 40 can do that. Let's just leave that alone. Grandma, is that the full name? Yeah, I mean, I know she's responded. Oh, Jamaican vacation name. Well, yeah. Please. Can a church file for a member after 9 years of overstay? The church can file the I-360 petition. But if you're talking of a religious worker, permanent, but 9 years of overstay, you would not be able to get your green card in the country. You would have to file a waiver before leaving and filing for your immigrant visa at the embassy. You can't have credit lower than 700. You can't. No, we can't do it. Benchmark is 830. What is the highest? I don't know. I think it's 850. When I was like 825, I was like, I'll be damned. So no, you can't have it less than 500. 500, 700. No, we can't do less than 700. No. Let's be going. Okay. Let me start Audrey's first. Finance Shandy, Emma boy. No. Finance Shandy, we can't take you because you're newlywed. No, because I don't need your husband to come like, no. We can't. No, we can't take you. No. Let's just leave your husband. You're your husband. We can't take you. No. Okay. What is the fastest VAR approval that you have experienced? I know VAR is a long process. Hope you can answer my the fastest I have had is, I think it was 14 months. March 2021, May 2022. How many months is that? 14 months, I think. Yeah, I think. Now, I have to say, that client's case, and I think I've said that before, he had an I-130 that his wife filed for him. So one of the things I usually do is to request for USCIS to transfer priority date. They're not going to tell you, yes, we're going to, but that's when you have your VAR approval, it would have your priority date of the I-130 if you had an I-130. So he had an I-130 that was filed for him by his abusive spouse, and that was the priority date on his VAR approval. So that's, we're born ready. These girls, I'm telling you, my girls are crazy. Can I email you to ask a question? If you email me, my response to you will be, you can set up a proper consultation. So if you have a question, you can ask a question here. It's not, disclaimer, nothing is specific to anyone. It is general. If you want something specific to your case, that has to be done in a proper paid consultation. Oh, they can't have less than 830. Okay, Ms. Sanctuary. Let me go on 830K. Let me go on 830 now. For I-864, should one start gathering evidence such as the employment verification before the I-130 is approved? So the I-864, is needed when your spouse files the I-45. That's when you have to send that in at the same time with 45, because you have to show that you support the person and there will not be a public charge. So yeah, you should already have that, so that you once you're ready to file the 45, then you have your evidence for your 864 together at the same time. Anyway, all right, people, that is all we can do tonight. Thank you as always. I'm glad to be back. Glad we can meet up again and discuss immigration and discuss what's going on and pray together and agree together in faith. Let me see if I can just take 1, 2 on here. I think tomorrow we will probably do questions. Can a 10-year green card holder marry a non-immigrant? You can marry anybody. I guess you're asking if you can file for the non-immigrant. So if you're a green card holder and you're trying to adjust status for the person who is in the country already, then there must be valid non-immigrant status. Okay. Hello, Mr. Uday. How are you? Hello. That's one of my clients. Oh, Kim Sam, that is Donna wife. Kim, you were supposed to call me. Kim, 334, text me. No, you were supposed to text me. I think I told my assistant to tell you to text me. Okay, am I free next week? Text me. Y'all need to. I want you guys to even come on one of those lives. I would love for you to come, and that's because if there's anything you can share, Kim, would you be able to come? Okay, perfect. I want you to come and share, because if you're able to do that and let other people know, transfer is the key. So if you have a pending case at the embassy, what Kim did and Sam, I'm just happy for them. Like, yo, I didn't even represent that. I love when things work well for people. I just love when things work well for people. So they were waiting to, and she was able to go ahead and transfer. Hey, Miss Greasy. She was able to transfer her husband's case pending at the embassy in Ghana to Sierra Leone, right? Kim, well, Sierra Leone, right? And that Laura Conchard, he's here. He's in the United States. And okay, yes. So Sierra Leone from Ghana, because Ghana is slower than Nigeria. But if you're able to do that, then that is an option. So, Kim, that would be great if you can come and talk to you. Just give an idea of what, step by step, not step by step, but just a summary of what people can do. And I don't do transfers. It's just not something we have the time for. That's something that you can easily do yourself. So if Kim will be gracious enough to honor us with her presence and meet Sam, that will be excellent. If you want to join in tomorrow, would love just a quick, 1, 2, 3, this is what you need to do, so that if you have, because a lot of people are waiting for their spouses to come to the United States, and especially Nigerians or Ghanaians, it's taking forever. And if you're able to have information that can help you transfer to another place and get that done, then that would be great. 27 months backlog in Ghana. Can you imagine? That's over 2 years. I just received EAD and travel authorization. What's the next step in the VAW process? Is just going to wait for your VAW case to get approved. All right. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate. Fine, Shannon, email me, because whenever I have things like that, I have to be able to have it in writing. That's for me, because, for instance, I'm going to email someone because she was like, no, we didn't talk about that. So for me, when it comes to retaining anything, it's got to be in writing. I just don't have any other option but to have it in writing, so that we can refer back to that and say, yeah, this is what we discussed. But yes, so we'd love to be able to do that. Thank you. all for always coming in and joining and discussing. But like I said, it's going to be the best, second half, half of the year for us so far. We're all just taking it one day at a time and believing God is going to be gracious enough and show us favor as we start and commence and move forward with this second part of 2023. We are going to, lives are being changed. Miss Juliet, I see you. And, oh, Miss Juliet, that reminds me, Miss Juliet. I don't know how. I know from 10 o'clock to God knows how 3. That's back to back. I have tomorrow. Text me, so that we can talk about the other thing that we're waiting on. If we haven't received, because that's one of the things I looked for in our mail today. I don't think I found it. But text me to look again when I get to the office tomorrow. If it's not there, because I think it's more than 2 weeks now, then we may have to go with the other option that we talked about. He wants to see New York. I love New York, but listen, he's from Ghana. If he lived in the city in Ghana, he'll be fine. Because I grew up in Lagos. If you grew up in Lagos, you'll be fine in New York. That's just what it is, right, people? If you grew up in Lagos, you will be fine in New York. But let me know, Kim. Text me. I'll be expecting your text. Lydia will probably respond, but once you text, I will. Well, you're from Tuscaloosa. That's true. That's true. You're worried about you. So, I'm a city girl. I love cities. I live in the suburb, but I love city. You're welcome. I love the city life. It's just people always say, okay, because TJ, my oldest, is 18 and a half. He's on his way to college. He's an adult, according to U.S. law. TJ's still a baby. TJ's 12. TJ's the size his brother, but he's a big baby. If you see him, he looks older than it, but he's 12. So like when SJ is by the time SJ graduates from college by God's grace, TJ is still not done with high school. That's how much gap they have between them. But people always say, okay, when once he's done with high school, are you going to stay back in? I'm probably going to move to New York. Truth be told, I love the city. I love the city. Suburb is great to raise kids. I'm almost done raising kids. By the time he's 16, driving his son, please, Stella is. I'm officially changing my name to Stella. But perfect. Actually, text me, and I will. When Lydia gives me your information, I will text you my personal cell phone. You cannot share with anybody. If you do, can't share it. I'll text you my personal cell phone, and then we'll take it from there because I need to meet Sam. But anyway, God is in control. Don't forget that. There are a lot of people who are going to be naysayers in our lives. There are a lot of people who we cannot. Stella will be on the loose. Like she Mr. Benham in the sanctuary, you're going to be like, oh Lord, here goes our sister. Like she done lost it. Listen. Like my mom will say, no, mommy, she want to. I had kids, I didn't die. So because I had kids doesn't mean that I cannot live life. But I always say thank God for Jesus. I thank God for Jesus in my life because let's just leave it as that. Thank God for Jesus. Thank you, Lord, for Jesus. Thank you, Lord, for Jesus. That's all. Okay, good. But naysayers will always come. Make sure. My mom has always known that, there's always that one child out of all your kids that is the wild one. That one child who can say anything just crazy as hell. You already know. Out of my mom's 4 kids, that's me. Mr. Bennett would give him praise. That's me. It is what it is. My siblings, all 3 of my siblings are in the medical field. They don't talk. They don't care to talk. They don't care to argue. They're in the medical field. I am the only one in my family in the legal field. I am the only one growing up who would say everything my siblings wanted to say. I know that, Miss Funny Shandy. It's just that, truth be told, I'm not. Let me put it this way. I have so many dates. That's just what I always cancel. I end up canceling just because I always feel that. I mean, I broke off on an engagement. I just feel that there is, I'm in the right profession. I like, I haven't pretty, because y'all already know. I believe in putting everything before God. But the one thing I haven't prayed about recently, the last year, is, hey, God give me, oh shit, okay, I think that took care of that. God give me somebody, or bring. I just have not. I just have not. Um, because I'm just being honest with myself that I don't have the. I can't find it. I just don't have that capacity right now to fit that in. So all fun and good, but it's gonna be okay. Hey, someone who a guy that can deal with me has to be very self confident. Has to. My mama would tell you that you've got to be very self confident in yourself. Like you've got to be someone who you don't have insecurities. You cannot have insecurities. Um, my ex husband and I, we're not getting back. So don't even. We're good co-parents now. There's a time we didn't even talk for almost 3 years, but we thank God for now, because in spite of not even talking, our kids did not miss a beat. That's the one thing I knew that from it, because I always say I divorced their dad, they didn't divorce their father. So whatever issues we had has nothing to do with them. And when your kid tells you, well, we kind of forget you guys are actually divorced, that says a lot. But I say that to say this. That's one guy, and mom loves him to Jesus comes back. I don't know why, but yeah, she does. That's one guy that very, very confident. He's not arrogant. He's a very humble guy. I can't take that. He's a very humility, and he's very humble. He's got issues. That's what he got. But humility, that's big. But confidence. Well, then again, he's a physician. So, but there are a lot of people who are professionals who are not confident. Self-confidence he's got. And he was able to understand and deal with it, but just thank you. But because my kids are, y'all know, I don't play with my kids. And there was no reason to put anything, and we never did. Someone has to do something. Even when we're talking, I would text him directly. I don't have to talk to you, but I'm not going to go through my kid to tell you to tell you something. No. And I was just not. I do too many family cases. I represent Department of Human Services. I've seen so much to now put my kids through that crazy hell. It was bad enough they had to shuttle between two homes. They weren't going to do that, and thank God. Confidence and Leo's. No, funny thing is, I'm the one that has a Leo birthday. My ex-husband is. What up in June 1st? Can he, whatever the sign is. But Leo and Leo cannot be together. No, you cannot. Like epic movie, you cannot. It's going to be chaos. So you've got to be with someone who is self-confident. Gemini. But they understand that you've got because I've got a very, very strong personality. I am. My battery alone do this. I have, but so it takes a lot. But funny thing about Leo babies is we're very compassionate and very emotional. A lot of people don't know that I'm highly emotional and very giving. Highly emotional and very giving. Like I can give you anything, but you don't ever want to see me angry. I'm crazy as hell. Timmy's not like the house. All right, we're gonna believe God for favor this month. Next month to the end of the year, we're all going to come back. Yes, Miss Juliet. We're all going to come back and say God did it. We're all going to come back and say our testimony is that God did it. And so shall it for each and every one of us. Yes, lead to the world. I'm telling you. Good night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.